You spent hours planning, shooting, editing a video, and something still looks off. Well, you might be doing one of these 5 things that I see people mess up on all the time when it relates to video creation. So let's fix that. Mistake number 1, relying on your camera's auto exposure / autofocus too much. Your camera's not smarter than you. This can be a problem, especially when you're switching lighting conditions and you're trying to maintain consistency. Sometimes you might not realize it on that day when you're looking at your viewfinder, but when you get on your computer and you check it later on, you may notice that it's shifted blue or it's shifted tungsten, orange, and you didn't even realize that. So learn how to use the manual settings on your camera and just filming test shoots to learn everything, especially shutter speed and ISO, because those things sometimes involve some math, and it's really good to learn that and get it down so you don't have to worry about it later. Even if it's just one setting at a time, you just focus on one at a time, it'll help. Mistake number 2 is flat composition. Cinematic footage is rarely just dead center. I mean, I actually lied. It can be pretty cinematic if you have a subject dead center in the frame. But try using other aspects like foreground aspects, leading lines, positioning the subject at different points on the frame along the rule of thirds grid, something like that. Play around with it and exercise your cinematic eye, because that's really what will help you get more cinematic shots and better composition overall. Mistake number 3, wrong timeline frame rate for slow motion footage. Filming in 60 FPS for slow motion, but you didn't know how to edit the footage. I've seen a lot of videos that look buttery smooth, and sometimes it looks nice, and you may think that it looks nice when you're looking at it, but when you take it into a computer, you edit it and you export it, when someone's watching it, it looks off and it doesn't necessarily look cinematic. Movies don't look like that. They don't shoot in 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second for the whole movie. They shoot in 24 frames per second, or they at least have everything on a 24 frames per second timeline. So if your videos look buttery smooth and it looks like AI or something, you may want to go back to your computer and check that out. If your footage is in 60 frames per second, it probably shouldn't be in a 60 frames per second timeline. And that's why your footage looks so smooth. You need to put it in a 24 frames per second timeline. It'll skip some frames, but it's not going to look super smooth. Now, I think there is a time and place for smooth footage. If you have some motion graphics and you want everything to look really smooth, or if you're streaming, you have streaming clips. If you're playing games, streaming, having smooth footage has its purpose. If you're trying to get cinematic video and you're putting your slow motion video in a timeline that's above 24 frames per second, it's going to look buttery smooth. And unless you want that look on purpose, you may want to go down to 24 frames. Mistake number 4 that people make is overusing transitions. You don't need whip pans every 2 seconds, and you definitely don't need a sound effect for every transition that you have every 2 seconds. They have their place, it has their time. Simpler is sometimes better, especially with video. And sometimes the more you add to it to make it look cooler, the less cool it looks. Try it out for yourself though. If your transitions are louder than your story, you should check that out. Simpler is better sometimes. Keep them intentional, not just flashy for the sake of it. Cool edits do not equal good videos. Mistake number 5, not understanding lighting, even natural light. Light placement is better than having expensive light. If you understand shape, contrast, and direction, then you're already there. It's also important to get the framing right. So practice getting the framing and positioning of where the light is in relation to the subject down packed. Like ensuring that the light is hitting the subject like where you want it to invoke a certain emotion is important, and it does matter. This is why your shots look off even with good gear. Filmmaking and video creation, content creation, it doesn't get better with more gear. It gets better with less mistakes. If this helped you out at all, even just a little bit, I've got more tips coming. And if you're already doing some of these, you are on the right track. Thanks for watching. I'm Nuari. I believe that every frame asks a question, and I'm here to help you find the answers. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I appreciate you for tuning in. If this video helped you even just a little bit, or you've seen my face before, consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. Peace out.